Now, something I love is Big Brother. We've been covering it on the Patreon, and you've made it no secret how much you love Tucker. You've also made it no secret that you didn't want him on the podcast because you're afraid you will embarrass yourself, etc.
No. Let me be clear. I'm not going to embarrass myself. I told you I'm good at flirting because so rarely does a man pass the secret tests I've set up for them that when Tucker has transcended from that Jim Carrey looking motherfucker to now my number one crush, he is almost to Luke Wilson territory. If we have him on the podcast, I will flirt with him. And I'm not going to embarrass myself. I'm going to make you uncomfortable.
That wouldn't make me uncomfortable. A friend watched me blow someone, Chelsea.
I wasn't that friend.
Yeah, but I wouldn't care. That's just life. We're adults. Grow up. I went to the Big Brother pop-up in New York City viewing party. So it was the night of Quinn's eviction, and it was Tucker, Kenny, and Matt, Crazy Eyes, that were at the party as the special guests. So after the episode ended, I went up to Tucker and asked for a photo. He was very sweet, started talking about the episode, etc., etc. At this point, the episode had ended. That's the important part. So Asa from Big Brother 23, she's the one that throws these parties. She paid for it to be on the rooftop from whatever time until the episode ended. So this is like 15 minutes later. They were clearly trying to kick us out, but nobody was moving. So then I started talking to him, and I was like, Tucker, can I tell you something? And he said, what? And I said, I would love for you to come on the podcast. I already messaged you about it when you were in the house, but my co-host, and I was going to tell him a charming little story of how you hate men. We were going to giggle over that, but then he transcended and you don't count him as a man anymore or something like that. But I said, my co-host hates men. And then he looked at me confused. And then the bartender was like, okay, everybody out, everybody out. So that's as far as I got. So I don't think he'll be on the podcast because all he knows about the podcast is my co-host hates men.
Which honestly isn't a wrong elevator pitch for the podcast. It is true. The text that you sent me was, I was just telling him about you and then we got interrupted. And I said, LOL, stop, because I thought that it was a joke. But then I was like, no, Donnie doesn't really joke like that. Like if he was texting me that, he was talking to him about me. And I was like, good God, what is he saying about me? Is he saying that I told Tucker he could have my butt? Because that was a text I once sent you.
No, that's private.
That's just between us gals. So Tucker, if you're listening, I do hate men, but good news for you, baby boy. I don't consider you a man anymore.
You can have her butt.
Yeah.